What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for another tactical video thanks to the amazing GYRFM. If you are new around here, GYRFM is my tactics guru and he provides tactics which I display to you guys to use in your saves. Now, if you are new, GYRFM, his links will be down in the description, his Twitter, his Twitch and his Discord server. Please do go and join those and show him some love. But this, I have to say, with this tactic, this is probably the quickest one he's ever delivered to me. He started talking to me about it at 9 AM and it just worked. He tried it with 3 teams. It was unbeaten in every single league campaign that we tried this with. We tried this with some teams. There was 3 teams that I'm going to show you now. Let's start things in the Premier League. Now, I know what you guys are saying. You're thinking, Steve, you tried it in the Premier League. I bet this is with like a Liverpool, a Man City, a Manchester United. You'd be wrong. We tried it with Arsenal and Arsenal managed to win the league. 104 points with this tactic. We'll go over the tactic at some point later on in the video, but 104 points for Arsenal in the Premier League is nothing to be sniffed at. Gabriel Martinelli is the top goal scorer for Arsenal with 26 goals, and then obviously Martin Odegaard doing his thing with 30 assists, and the highest average rating for the team is the highest goals scored in the Premier League with 105 and the best in terms of goals conceded with 27. If we go and take a look at all the competitions, obviously Arsenal this season are not in any European competitions, so they don't need to worry about that. That will probably have helped. Knocked out in the semi-finals of the Carabao Cup by Liverpool, knocked out in the 5th round of the FA Cup by Wolves, but it's the league performance that we really need to take note of. If we expand this Premier League and take a look at the stages, we are the current holders, 33 victories from the 38 games with Arsenal, 5 draws, 105 goals scored, which is pretty impressive, outscoring Liverpool and Manchester City, especially with Arsenal. 27 goals conceded, giving them that 78 goal difference and 104 points as well. If we have a look, it's another Arsenal Invincible season, but this time with a lot less draws. So they drew away at Wolves, Chelsea, Southampton, Manchester City and Liverpool. Not too bad, and they beat absolutely everybody else. If we go into the schedule as well, you can see some high scoring games as well, beating Wolves, scoring 5 against them, and obviously we're still getting this tactic right and ready there. So against that game against Liverpool, we can kind of assume is fine. Didn't concede a goal in the month of November, then they move forward another 6-0 against Newcastle. They start scoring goals, as you can see there, the semi-final of the EFL Cup, losing to Liverpool 2-0 twice, but it's Liverpool, especially in cup competitions. We know what they're like in this year's FM. Scored 6 against Villa, beat them in the league at home. It's just a very consistent tactic looking all the way through the seasons. As I said, we have tested this at a couple of different clubs. Let's head over to League One, where we've tested this with Portsmouth. So we tested this with Portsmouth as well down in League One to make sure that it works a little bit further down the footballing pyramid. Portsmouth are obviously one of the favourites in Sky Bet League One, but there are so many of them. Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, Sunderland, Wigan. There's loads that could hypothetically get promoted in Sky Bet League One, and with this tactic, again, another season unbeaten, 32 victories, 14 draws, 0 losses, 106 goals scored, which blew absolutely everybody else out the water by almost 30 goals. Only 35 goals conceded as well, 71 in terms of that goal difference, giving them a positive goal difference over the team in second, not over any of the other teams, the team in second of 30, and they win the league by 8 points. In terms of some of the other competitions, they also won the Papa John's Trophy as well with Portsmouth, knocked out in the 2nd round of the Carabao Cup by Premier League Brighton, and knocked out in the 5th round of the Emirates FA Cup by Spurs, which is, again, for a League One club to get to the 5th round of the FA Cup is very, very impressive. The board expectation at the start of the season was to reach the playoffs, and we have absolutely annihilated it with this tactic, and some very, very good goal scoring returns throughout the course of the season. Tyler Walker there, 25 goals for him. Fair play. We also tested this in Germany. Now, this one is with Bayern Munich, and we usually test stuff with an elite tier team just to see kind of where the holes are in these tactics, and we tried it with Bayern, and I don't think there were any holes. So guys, I'm going to start off on the home screen with Bayern Munich. We're just going to talk through this save and then we are going to break this tactic down. And the first thing I want to bring your attention to is, yes, Bayern Munich scored 100 points in the league, which in the Bundesliga with 4 less games compared to the Premier League is ridiculously difficult to do. But the main thing I want to draw your attention to is Robert Lewandowski. Now, throughout the course of the season, the eagle-eyed of you would have noticed that he scored 87 goals in the season, with an average rating of 8.7. We're just going to have a look at Lewandowski. 87 goals. He got 54 in 34 in the Bundesliga, which I know it's not the most elite tier league in Europe, but damn, Robert Lewandowski, that's a lot of goals. 14-6 in the Pokal, and also 17-13 in the Champions League. Like, I know Lewandowski's probably one of the best players in the game, but that is a redonkulous goal scoring return. Talking about Bayern and their competitions, though, they did win everything, a complete clean sweep. As I mentioned, the 100-point season in the Bundesliga, you can only get 102. They drew one game, 4-4 away at Dortmund, and I've just got to look because I imagine that's FM doing some FM things there. Oh, it's not. Most of the goals were in the first half. I was expecting, for some reason, on these simulations, something to be like a 92nd minute equalizer or something like that, but it's absolutely blasted through the league. It won the Pokal as well, beating Bayern Leverkusen 1-0 in that final, won the DFL Super Cup, smashing Dortmund in that one, and won against Liverpool in extra time in that Champions League. Here is a little bit of a snapshot of the formation. It is a 4-4-1-1 with two Segundo Volantes, and to be honest, Lewandowski could have got it even further out of sight. He missed a penalty in the 99th minute, scored in the 102nd, and then Kingsley Coman rounded off the victory as Liverpool are most likely to push. But a 7.8 for Alisson shows that he was very, very busy in this Champions League final. If we expand the Bundesliga table and take a look at the stages, here you can see the entire domination of the Bundesliga. 139 goals scored in Germany and 22 goals conceded, 117 in terms of that goal difference, and 100 points. It's just mad, this tactic, and that was pretty much all the testing we needed to do. Comprehensive in 3 different leagues, unbeaten without dropping a league match in this simulation, in this testing that we did. So let's break this tactic down. If you are new around here, there is a download link if you are on PC or Mac to FM Scout in the description, where you can go and download this tactic and plug it straight into your game, into your save, and start using it. If you are on Xbox or FM Touch or something like that, or you want to just recreate it yourself, follow the steps as we talk things through. Now, this is the GYRFM Volante victory, and that is because we have 2 of these Segundo Volantes in the defensive midfield spots. Now, we're going to quick pick so you guys can see in this Bayern Munich team the players that fill these roles, and then we'll go through and talk about things. So obviously they've got a sweeper keeper on support in goal, which is in this instance Manuel Neuer. He has no additional instructions on him, just a sweeper keeper on support duties. Then the most popular role in FM at the moment, or one of, alongside the central midfielder on attack, is the inverted wingback on attack. So in right back we have Benjamin Pavard as this inverted wingback. Now, the inverted wingback on attack comes with a lot of roles, and you will see them sort of venturing into these sorts of gaps here. They do a really, really nice job of getting in and creating extra bodies in that midfield, basically. So they come with the additional instructions of shoot less often and tackle harder. Now, the additional instructions on here, guys, are the ones with the white circle, the white cog and the red circle, and you need to add them by going onto this edit button here, and then you do it here, shoot less often, etc. You go in and make sure it looks exactly the same. Make sure you are copying all of these to make the tactic as intended by Gareth, because that makes it as good as humanly possible. So that is the inverted wingback on the right hand side. The inverted wingback on the left hand side is exactly set up the same, guys. Shoot less often and tackle harder as the additional instructions. Then we have 2 centre backs on defensive duty with the additional instruction on the right hand side of tackle harder, and the exact same on the left hand side. So central defenders on defend with the tackle harder. Now we have the Segundo Volante. Now, we don't get a lot of Segundo Volantes, and this is what the description says. The Segundo Volante is different from the deep line playmaker. Their role is primarily a defensive one, best suited to being paired with an anchor, but also different from a ball winning midfielder in that they run often with the ball or arrive with a late run. Now, we know the match engine hates midfield runners, so the Segundo Volante on support duty is really, really good. The support duty, they will look to support the attack whilst picking and choosing the opportunities to arrive late in the opposition penalty area, again providing those runners moving forward, and there's 2 of them in this tactic. So they have the same instructions, both of them. So they are the Segundo Volante on support, and they have the additional instructions of dribble more, shoot less often, and tackle harder. Now, giving us the width, because we've obviously got the inverted wing backs, we have wingers on attack on both sides. They have the exact same instructions, wingers on attack, with the additional instructions of shoot less often and tackle harder. This tactic is basically all about fashioning chances for that that striker. Then we have a shadow striker, which in this instance is Thomas Müller. The shadow striker on attack with shoot less often and tackle harder as the additional instructions. Then the main man, the 87 goal man, Robert Lewandowski, up top as the advanced forward with dribble more, shoot less often and tackle harder. Now you can see as well, I'm just going to touch on this before we get into things, it's not just Lewandowski who's had a great goal return. Thomas Müller, 23 goals for him, Leroy Sané with 15, Serge Gnabry with 11, Alphonso Davies also got 10. There's 9 in here for 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, there's 10 in here for Kingsley Coman. There's goals throughout this team, guys, and throughout all of the positions. In terms of everything else, it is a tactical style, is custom. It doesn't really matter if you guys are importing this tactic, but if you're creating it yourself, just go clean slate and just follow all the instructions in this video. The mentality is positive, and in terms of in possession, this is how we are playing. We are a fairly wide attacking width. We are playing out of defense. We are also passing slightly shorter with an extremely high tempo, low crosses in that final third, and we are working the ball into the box. In terms of in transition, this is how we are looking. We are counter pressing, we are countering when the possession has been won, and the distribution type, we are rolling the ball out. In terms of out of possession, this is how we're set up. We are using the offside trap with a much higher line of engagement. We are a standard defensive line, but we are obviously playing that offside trap, a standard defensive width as well. We are triggering the press much more often and preventing that short goalkeeper distribution. Now, as I said, we have only tested this in 3 leagues, but it didn't drop a league match, so we think it's good enough for you guys to release. Let us know down in the comments if you do try this tactic out, who you're trying it with and how you get on with it. And also, whilst you're down there, head into the description and drop GYRFM a follow. If you have enjoyed today's video, guys, please do drop a like on it down below. Subscribe if you are new around here, and check out this video and another tactical masterpiece from GYRFM. Take care, guys.